If you've ever stood ankle-deep in a flooded basement at 2 in the morning, watching the water creep toward your furnace, you already understand that a submersible water pump is one of those quiet heroes nobody thinks about until the exact moment they desperately need one. But here's the thing the box won't tell you. Those giant gallons per hour numbers printed on the packaging are measured in a perfect laboratory, at 0 feet of lift, with the widest hose possible. Out in the real world, with vertical climbs, friction inside your hoses, trapped air, and floating debris, a pump rated for thousands of gallons can quietly shrink down to a trickle. So today, we're cutting straight through the marketing and looking at 7 submersible pumps that actually deliver, from monster pool drainers to whisper-quiet aquarium circulators. Every link you need is waiting down in the description, so go give them a look. Let's dive in. First up is the AquaStrong, a 1-horsepower thermoplastic beast rated at 4,500 gallons per hour. This pump moves water with a kind of urgency that's honestly a little thrilling to watch, and its bottom suction design pulls a flooded floor down to about 1/5 of an inch before it taps out. The reinforced thermoplastic housing shrugs off chlorinated pool water and stagnant pond water alike, and a built-in thermal overload protector steps in if things ever get too hot. The one small catch is the power cord, which at 10 feet is a touch short for deep in-ground pools, so you'll want to position it thoughtfully near a safe outlet. Picture draining a 23,000-gallon pool. With a wide 1¼ inch discharge hose instead of the little garden hose adapter, this thing empties it in well under a day. That hose choice matters enormously, because pairing all that power with a skinny 3/4 inch fitting strangles the flow before it ever gets going. It rarely clogs even on murky water full of algae and garden grit, which is exactly what you want when you're racing the clock against rising water. Step up in muscle and you reach the Lanchez, a 1/2-horsepower pump pushing an enormous 5,200 gallons per hour. Where the AquaStrong is built to be carried around the yard, the Lanchez is built to be installed once and trusted forever, with a cast iron base and stainless steel housing that dump heat beautifully and resist corrosion. Its standout trick is the vertical float switch, which needs far less horizontal room than the old tethered float style, making it perfect for narrow sump basins. Drop it into a dedicated pit and it switches itself on the instant groundwater rises, keeping your basement dry while you sleep. The only thing to keep in mind is the weight, since all that metal makes it close to 17 pounds, so it's happiest as a permanent fixture rather than a grab-and-go tool. One quick maintenance tip will keep it humming for years. Rinse the float shaft occasionally so mineral buildup never gums up the slider. Now for something completely different, and frankly kind of clever. The 6699 tankless water heater flushing kit is a 1/6 horsepower pump that circulates descaling solution, usually plain white vinegar, through your tankless heater to dissolve calcium scale. It arrives as a true grab-and-go bundle with hoses, adapters, and a bucket, so you're not hunting all over town for matching parts. Here's the magic moment. You close the water and gas, hook the hoses to the isolation valves, and circulate vinegar for about an hour while the water slowly turns a satisfying shade of blue as the scale lets go. One gentle heads up is that the included 3-gallon bucket runs a little small, so plenty of folks happily swap in a taller 5-gallon one to keep the pump fully submerged. That submersion matters because if a bubble gets trapped in the housing, the pump will just hum cheerfully while moving absolutely nothing, the hydraulic equivalent of revving an engine in neutral, so lower it in at an angle to let the air escape first. For everyday reliability, it's hard to beat the superior pump, a 1/4-horsepower workhorse rated at 1,800 gallons per hour. Its slim body slips into tight 6-inch floor drains and narrow window wells where bigger pumps simply won't fit, and it sips a remarkably low amount of power, so it plays nicely on a shared circuit. Compared to the AquaStrong's brute force, this one trades raw speed for the kind of quiet, year-after-year dependability that makes it the perfect emergency backup sitting on a garage shelf. Imagine your washing machine overflows on a Sunday. You drop this in, and because it pulls water down to about 1/8 of an inch, you're left with a nearly dry floor instead of a soggy mess. There's also a tiny anti-airlock weep hole near the top that sprays a thin jet of water during operation, and that's a feature, not a flaw, so don't worry when you see it. If your battle is outdoors, the CZ is built for exactly that. This 1-horsepower pump pumps 4,755 gallons per hour, and it boasts the highest vertical reach on this list at a genuinely impressive 36 feet. The reason it solves the most common real-world headache is its 25-foot power cord, which means no sketchy extension cords lying in the wet grass near your pool, a meaningful safety upgrade over the AquaStrong's shorter 10-foot lead. Even better, it ships with a 23-foot wide flat discharge hose and an anti-clogging filter net, so you actually get the flow you were promised straight out of the box. The lightweight polypropylene build is tough and chemical resistant, and the only thing worth a gentle mention is keeping that flat hose free of sharp bends so the water keeps racing through. For draining an above-ground pool or clearing a flooded back corner of the yard far from the house, it's wonderfully painless. Shifting gears entirely, the VivoSun is a precision micro pump that sips just 24 watts while moving 800 gallons per hour, and it runs so quietly it practically whispers. This is the beating heart of hydroponic setups, aquariums, and indoor fountains. And it's even a favorite for cooling loops on desktop laser engravers, where steady, vibration-free flow is everything. An adjustable flow dial and 3 nozzle sizes let you fine-tune the pressure for delicate roots or sensitive fish. Unlike the heavy lift pumps above, this little one is all about gentle, continuous circulation rather than vertical muscle. So just know its real flow tapers as the water climbs, with most of its strength living in the first few feet. For a quiet office aquarium or a custom hydroponic tower, it's an absolute delight. And the suction cup base keeps it silent against glass. Rounding things out is the Green Expert, a 1/3 horsepower pump that's quietly a little bit brilliant. Instead of a clunky mechanical float that can snag, it uses a solid-state water sensor, and it drains a flat floor down to an almost unbelievable 1/25 of an inch. That means when a water heater bursts or a flat roof pools after a storm, you're left with concrete that's merely damp and ready for a mop, no shop vac required. A heavy-duty 25-foot cord and a smart 15-second run-on after the water drops keep it deploying deep and finishing clean. 2 friendly notes: the sensor relies on minerals in the water to work in auto mode, so very pure water may need manual mode, and it strongly prefers a standard hose over the expandable pocket hose type. The built-in check valve is the real hidden gem, trapping the water column in the hose so your freshly dried floor stays dry once the pump shuts off. So which one belongs in your hands? For fast pool and outdoor draining with the safest setup, the CC is the clear champion thanks to that long cord and wide hose. For a permanent set-it-and-forget-it basement sump, the rugged Lanchez stands guard on its own. For tankless heater maintenance, the 6699 kit pays for itself in a single afternoon. For hydroponics, aquariums, and laser cooling, the efficient little VivoSun is unbeatable. For drying flat floors down to the very last drop, the Green Expert is pure magic, while the trusty Superior Pump is the budget backup every homeowner should keep on the shelf. All the links are down in the description, so grab the one that fits your project, and if this helped you out, do hit subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive. Thanks for watching.